guys, so today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I have this Shadowbox here that I got from Michael's. I have a couple, so I do have some other projects planned. Blah, blah. I'm so excited I can't even talk. So first off though, I bought this cutout around Thanksgiving, and I thought it'd be really fun to paint like Bob's Burgers, the turkey that he loves, Lance, and I was going to paint his name on the sign. But then I got a better idea. So I decided to draw Bob on the turkey, and I thought, oh, I can have this cut out like a little umbrella. But then I liked the idea of, I thought, oh, I put it in the shadow box, I can create some depth. So then I got this little piece of art media panel that I cut out, and I'm going to actually paste it once it's painted over so that it's got a little bit bigger of an umbrella. And then I can add some really fun stuff around, like I'm going to paint this background. I can add some more layering if I want to. There's like this weird canvas in here. It's not gessoed, so it might absorb a bit of the colors that I'm going to put on. So I'll start with the background color just to give it some something to work off of. I don't really like to work off of white typically, even though I probably will for this because I've already drawn the character. But I think it might be really fun to kind of just do this little exercise and just hang it on the wall and have something new. So if you're interested in doing something like this on your own, I can list below all the pieces of the things I have, like, you know, where I got the cutout and whatnot. So let's get started.
So the first thing I do is I like to add a background color. I typically use a warm tone, sometimes burnt sienna. This is a combination of Naphthol crimson and a little bit of flow acrylic fluorescent pink. And I noticed I left it very splotchy. I did that intentionally, and I'll probably end up doing that with the color because sometimes having that nice warm tone peeking through is just really nice. I mean, I like it. So the one thing I will say is I wish I had gessoed this first before putting that background color on because, like I said, it literally absorbed all the paint. And it was kind of hard. It made it tough to paint on. I had to add a lot of water to push it around. Oh, and I'll give you that little secret there. So I'm adding some stars. I took my brush, I added a lot of water, and I mixed it with some white, and then I flicked the brush at the canvas to create the star flecks. Now, later on, I will put in some extra little stars, but I just did this to kind of get that Milky Way type feel in the background. And I did switch. I was using a soft bristled brush when I first started putting the background down, but I ended up switching to a harder bristled brush because I could get more kind of movement. Like it really pushes the especially on that hard of a canvas to work on because it wasn't gessoed, but it really helped to push the paint around and give it more of a scruffy look, and that's kind of what I was going for. That's why you see a lot of the warm tone peeking through under the clouds and even on the background or on the ground area. So here I'm going in with a smaller soft bristle brush just to kind of give my little hedges and trees and things some more definition. And then I add in some highlights. Now, this paint did not dry very fast. It really soaked through, and even though it was absorbing fast, it wasn't drying fast. Every time I touched it, and you can see on my fingers, I have blue all over me because every time I touched the canvas, it would just get all over me. So I'm starting to add highlighting, and it's definitely a layering process. Again, I kind of wish I put down the gesso because I feel like it would have let those really stark highlights in the white that I was trying to put down in the clouds pop more. I had to do a lot more layers because that was so absorbent. Now I ended up, I know you probably didn't realize it, but I will point out that I ended up cutting off the sign after all and shrinking the umbrella down. Once I looked at the reference photo, I realized that from that particular scene in Bob's Burgers, it was a smaller umbrella, and I didn't really want to cut off the top of the turkey. I thought that was kind of the fun part of the piece is the turkey. So I ended up cutting that off with a bandsaw. So if you're younger and you do something like this, just make sure you have adult supervision. You don't want to cut off a finger, God forbid. And you know, I sprayed gessoed this turkey with a white gesso spray. You know, I think it's by Krylon, and it's very slick. So I had to put a couple coats on to really kind of start to see some solid shapes happening, and you'll see the difference here. I also ended up painting over the hands because I didn't like the way they looked, so I was going to put them back in. and I'm starting to really get some nice depth and color and brightness in certain areas. Granted, I think I was doing this more for fun. I've been in a little bit of a funk lately where I feel like it's hard to be creative. So I was trying to be a little more carefree with it and not worry so much about it being perfect like I tend to do with all my work. I go over things a couple times. I even trimmed him up a little bit. I think he was a little fatter, and I ended up painting him a little bit slimmer because I felt like he looked very squat up on there. Like it just didn't look right. So as I go through, I'm about to start lining the character. I really wanted him to pop off the turkey, and I could have done that with, just normal painting and adding contrast and stuff, but just to give it a little bit more of that Bob's Burgers look, I did add the outlining. Also coming up, I painted the umbrella shading off camera, and you'll see it'll literally move to the top of the canvas. And you'll be like, wait, it's painted. Yeah, I was trying to save some of my battery, so certain things I didn't think were as important, I did off camera. But I will say that when you are adding color like that, like especially even in the pants, and you want to have a highlight, it's okay to work wet on wet. It tends to make things look a little more natural and kind of blendy. Granted, I tend to go back and forth between where I like a harsh a harsh highlight, or like a harsh shadow, and it's just a shape, or sometimes I like it to be more blendy. My work tends to reflect both, so just play around with it. I'm sure you'll find something you like, and maybe you'll be like me and you'll like both and you incorporate both. There really is no wrong way to art, basically. As long as you're having a good time, it's all that matters. So as I'm finishing up the fine details, I want to point out something that I did, and I'm super embarrassed about it. When I first painted the background, I made sure that the hook for the shadow box to hang on the wall was facing the correct way. It should be pointing toward up. Well, somehow, some way, as I'm painting the background color and I'm spinning the background, I didn't look at it again when I started painting the actual background color or the actual background piece on it. And you're gonna see that I totally messed it up. Also, I did use crazy glue see, there it is. Watch, ready for the flip, and boom, dumb. I used crazy glue to attach the umbrella and the turkey on the actual background. It's a Gorilla Glue crazy glue, and I used it because I knew that the turkey was a little heavy, and I wanted to make sure it really set on there, and it set perfectly and wicked fast. So that is it for the video today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time back at the drawing board.